HarperCollins presents Love and Other Scams by P.J. Ellis, read by Sarah Lambie. Part 1. Just like Elizabeth Taylor. 1. "You'll be next," says a woman with a tight perm and spinach in her teeth. Coming out of nowhere, this sounds vaguely like a threat, and it takes Kat a moment to realise that the lady, the bride's aunt, she remembers, is probably referring to her presence here on Pluto. "Fingers crossed," she replies, smiling. Her cheeks ache like the practised muscles of an athlete. The tables are named after celestial bodies. Bridesmaids are seated on Venus, groomsmen on Mars, Johnny and Susie and their respective parents are on planet Earth, because, as he said during the speeches, she was his whole world. Mercury is for immediate family, Jupiter for close friends, Saturn and Neptune for the couple's extended circle. Uranus has been omitted, for obvious reasons. There aren't enough unattached people at this wedding to warrant the traditional singles table, and so Kat finds herself stranded all the way out on Pluto, within arm's reach of the loos, between Auntie Gladys, of the perm, and Greg, a friend of the groom's father, who is keen for everybody to know that the Porsche parked outside belongs to him. Now, as she sits making chit-chat while overcooked salmon and room-temperature Chardonnay muddle in her stomach, Kat finds herself conducting a mental cost-benefit analysis. The combined train fare and taxi to the scenic country venue were extortionate, and even though the dress she's wearing was off the sale rail and she purchased the cheapest item on Susie and Johnny's gift registry, it's all still more than she can really afford. She shouldn't have come. She hardly knows anybody here, was not granted a +1, and has yet even to speak to the bride. But Kat is here anyway, because she knows this is probably the last time she will ever see Susie and Johnny. Soon they will be moving out of London, and the chances of bumping into them by chance in a pub in Soho will be eliminated. Then, a year from now, they will either get a dog or have a baby, which of the two is immaterial, and their social lives will begin to revolve around Sunday walks and coffee mornings with other parents and/or dog owners. Kat has long stopped keeping track of the times she has watched various other friends and acquaintances approach this tipping point and then vanish onto the other side. It wasn't such a big deal in her mid-20s, when the circle of single girls she knew was wider, and they were all hustling to find that perfect job, perfect flat, perfect man. What she didn't understand until later was that many people move to London only so that they can one day move back out. They do their time, work their way up some ladder or another, either cohabiting with the same boyfriend they've had since school or going on a carousel of dates until they find someone whose aspirations complement their own. And then they set about planning their escape to somewhere else, a commuter town or charming village, where they can afford, with an injection of money from at least one set of parents, to buy their dream house. Kat must have been off sick the day that everybody got that memo. She spent her 20s flitting from one temp job and unserious boyfriend to the next, and only realised everyone else was working to a strict timeline after the 4th engagement announcement. She's not even especially close to Susie and Johnny. Kat has long harboured some unsettling suspicions about Johnny's politics, a confirmation bias that has only been emboldened by what she has seen of his family today, and if she's being honest with herself, Susie can be kind of a drip. But Kat feels a sting regardless, because they are going somewhere she cannot follow. That's why she attends the weddings, she supposes. Because when else would she ever actually see any of the women she used to consider her friends? "Oh, my dear," Gladys coos sympathetically when Kat's eyes fill up, threatening to ruin her mascara. "I always cry at weddings," she says, and excuses herself. The bathroom is blissfully empty. Kat locks herself in a stall and retrieves the miniature bottle of vodka from her clutch, knocking it back and swilling it like mouthwash to take away the taste of bile. At 29, she is arguably too old to be sneaking her own booze into events, but the table wine lasted all of half an hour, and it's a cash bar, even though she's fairly certain neither the bride nor groom's families are exactly poor. Of course, that's how the loaded stay loaded, Kat thinks, popping it.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?